Hello everybody, it's Jess here with Bless Jess. Thank you so much for watching Lucy and Nate running around too. I've had a lot of requests to show you how I make my cheeseburger rolls. Actually, these are not my cheeseburger rolls. These are the cheeseburger rolls from Dining on a Dime cookbook. I love this cookbook. It is awesome. They also have a web page. Well, they have a website, and on there is the same recipe. So you can follow along there. I'll link them down below. And they also have a video showing how they make it in way more detail and more thoroughly than I'm about to show you. And I'll link that video down below too. But basically, this is like a bread dough you make, and then you put ground beef and cheese and roll it up, and it's just delicious. It's like this yummy, yeasty roll with cheeseburger, and it's just delicious. I don't even know what else to say. So the first thing you do is you make a batch of their 90-minute rolls. Now, this bread is so good that I really need to just make this recipe and eat it as rolls because it would probably be delicious. But you just make this for rolls. For the cheeseburger bread. This is actually the day before I'm going to make the rolls. The cheeseburger rolls, whatever they are. So you guys, this is not professional like their videos. And I need it for tomorrow night, but it's going to be so crazy tomorrow that I figured I could just go ahead and make the dough, and then I'll have it for tomorrow. So here's the recipe, and like I said, I'll leave all their links down below, and I would highly recommend this cookbook as an amazing cookbook you need. This is pretty much the only cookbook I have. I don't like cookbooks because most of my stuff is online. However, I love this cookbook, and I use it all the time. So I do have a referral link with them, and I'll leave that down below if you want to order. If you go through my referral link, it definitely helps me out and helps me make even more videos for you guys. So the first thing I'm going to do is make this roll dough, and then we're going to let it rise. So what you need, all-purpose flour. You're going to need 2 to 2.5 cups. You're going to need sugar. You're going to need milk. You're going to need butter or margarine. You're going to need yeast. I buy it in a great big thing, and then I just keep it in these little jars and refill it. You're going to need salt and water, and that is it. So this is 90-minute rolls because you help the yeast get activated by using a hand mixer. I guess you could use a stand mixer or something like that. So the first thing I'm going to do is mix everything together. I'll try my best to show you on here, but definitely go to their video if you have any questions because they do a way better job than I'm about to do. But let's get started. I'm going to mix my flour, sugar, yeast, and salt, and then I'm going to mix the liquid ingredients, and we're going to mix it all together with a hand mixer. All right, so I mixed what it said. It was like 3/4 cup flour, the yeast, the sugar, and the salt. And then I have the wet ingredients here, which is butter, milk, and water, and I put it into the microwave. It probably took about 1.5 minutes, and then I let it cool down just a little bit, maybe about 1 minute. And you want it hot, but when you stick your finger in it, it doesn't like hurt. It just feels really hot. So we're going to pour this in here, and we're going to blend this for 2 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and put the timer on 2 minutes, and we are going to blend it on medium speed. Okay, guys, so I just beat it for 2 minutes on medium, and it says now to add another 1/4 cup of flour and then beat it on high for 2 minutes. So here's another 1/4 cup of flour. Now we're going to beat it on high for another 2 minutes. So this has been beaten for another 2 minutes, and now the only thing left I have to do is add in the rest of the flour and stir it up until it becomes a stiff dough, which is really hard to do with a camera, so I'll just show you that when it looks like, and it's just like there's not an exact thing. I would add like another cup of flour to this and just see how it looks. It might need a little bit more than that, and then we're just going to let this rise, and once it rises, it'll be good to go for tomorrow. So easy, so easy. So I'll show you that in just a sec. Okay, so I added about 1 1/4 cups of flour, and it's looking really good. Now the only thing left I need to do is knead this. Now I used to be very afraid of kneading dough till I started watching Tara from Living on a Dime, and basically she showed me it's not that hard. You don't have to put it out and make a huge mess on your countertop. She shows you how to knead it right in the bowl, and all you're going to do is knead this for 2 or 3 minutes, and all you're going to do is press down, and if it starts getting sticky, you can add a little bit of flour. Fold it in half. I think I'm going to need a tiny bit more. See how it's like sticking? That's how you know you need some more flour. So hang on a second. Let me grab my measuring cup of flour here. Should do a little sprinkle. Okay. So you press down, then you flip it, turn it, fold it in half, and you keep doing this. It's no big deal. You don't have to make yourself stress out about it. Just 2 or 3 minutes. Basically just incorporating everything, getting that yeast going. And then I'm going to just let this rise. So let me show you what I do before I let it rise after I get done kneading it. It's really hard to do this with one hand. All right, let me knead it for 2 or 3 minutes. I'll be right back. All right, guys, look at this beautiful dough ball. So how I'm going to keep the bowl from sticking, you don't have to like take it out and grease everything and all that. All you have to do, spray the dough ball. Oops. Sure, Lucy. Mom life, y'all. Okay, and then you're just going to kind of rub it around, turn it over. And you're going to spray the other side. And then that way as it rises, it won't stick to anything. Okay, so both sides are greased. I'm going to cover this loosely with a dish towel, and I'm just going to let it rise for about 15. The recipe says 15 minutes, and then you can put it in your pan if you want to do rolls. I'll probably let it rise for 15 and then kind of punch it down, maybe let it rise for another 15, and then it'll be ready to stick in the fridge. And I'll show you what it looks like when it gets done rising, and then tomorrow we'll be making our cheeseburger rolls. All right, guys, sorry for the jar noise. I don't know if you can tell, this has risen a lot, at least double. So I punched it down, and then I let it rise again for probably 20 minutes or more. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in some saran wrap, stick it in the fridge, and tomorrow I'll show you how I roll out the super simple and delicious cheeseburger rolls. Stay tuned. Alrighty, friends, it is the next day, and the dough looks beautiful, and I'm going to roll it out. You can do like little tiny rolls and fill them with the meat and cheese. I like to do it the way she showed on her website, which is just to do a big one and roll it up kind of like a cinnamon roll and bake it like that, and then cut it up when you're ready to eat. So basically all you're going to do, roll this out nice and thin, about the size of this cutting board. I don't know if you can see. About that size. And then this is some pre-cooked ground beef I had in the freezer. It is seasoned with salt and pepper, and it was in the freezer, so I just defrosted it. I don't even have to do anything else but just that. And then I'll sprinkle it in the middle and top it with some onion powder, a little bit more salt and pepper, some garlic powder, a little sprinkle of cheese, and then I'll roll it up like a cinnamon roll and bake it in the oven. And then when it comes out, you top it with butter, you slice it up. It is so good. So let me show you what it looks like when I get it all rolled out. I'll probably have to use a little bit of flour to roll this out. And when I fill it with the meat and cheese, I'll show you.
Check where the party was at. Roaming around without any trouble, I began to ask everybody I met, singing, oh, 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 oh. Just a shot away from the corner where I used to play with my friends as a kid, I saw a man with a pulled up collar playing banjo with an invisible stick, singing, oh. And if you find salvation, it's the only thing to do. You don't have to look no further, 'cause I'll take care of it for you. I'll take care of it for you.
Okay guys, so I have it rolled out. Normally it's a little bit longer and I have to kind of make a U shape in the pan, but I decided to try to tuck the ends in a little bit this time, and it made it a little bit shorter. You definitely could roll this out as thin as you want. So I have it on some parchment paper. It's going to go in the 350 degree oven, 15-20 minutes until it gets golden brown. Everything's cooked on the inside. You're just making sure there's no raw dough or anything. And so you'll kind of tap it and it'll be hollow. I'll let you guys know how long it takes me. But it is so easy the second day if you prep that dough ahead of time. Woo! So I'll show you guys when it comes out of the oven. We are going to slather it with some butter, and it is delicious. Alright guys, so I just pulled this out of the oven. It took right about 25 minutes. I have some butter here, and this is what makes it soft on the outside. If you want it more crusty hard, just don't do the butter. But this is what makes it delicious, and it doesn't take too much. You just kind of rub the stick around, and it makes it really soft and delicious to eat. Just gonna rub it, and it doesn't even use probably a tablespoon or less. Probably way less than that. This step is so important in the texture of it. All right, everybody, so this is it, and it is delicious. I'm gonna let it cool, and then we'll have a couple slices for dinner, and then we can always have some for lunch. It makes, I mean, I don't know how much you guys have. I would probably cut this into 6 pieces or so. So 4 or 5, that was hot, 4 or 5 dinners. It's super delicious. It's super cheap to make. Definitely go check out Living on a Dime. They're going to be linked down below, as well as my referral link to buy their book, Dining on a Dime. One of our favorite, new, cheap, easy recipes, and it is so delicious. So we will see you guys back later. If you like this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up.
Big thumbs up.
Leave me a comment down below. Please subscribe if you're new, and we will see you guys all later. Bye-bye.
Wearing light shoes, walking down the